What's going on, everyone? This is the Raikaze here. Today we're doing a quick little update video on the Pokemon VGC format, and I'm going to go ahead and lead off with just stating I was right. So if you have been missing the live streams, shame on you, but make sure you are in fact catching those live streams because we are talking about a different variety of things, including in the Pokemon format or in other gaming industries or just general things while we're even having the live stream. And one of those things we were talking about at one of the streams was in the upcoming formats, because we were saying, hey, you know, what else can they actually do? And people were thinking about going to previous regulations or trying to just add something else. And I was saying that it will be Mythicals. Mythicals will be allowed. And they're like, oh no, they'll never do that. And my response was, oh no, there's been enough time where people have access to a lot of these Mythicals at this particular point. So there should no longer be any type of blockade on these Pokemon. And sure enough, here we are. We have Regulation J, which is going to be the rule set that is upcoming in September 1st through January 4th. So it's starting in a month because today's August 2nd. So it's starting in a month and it's going through that length of time on the online only ranked battles. Now, if you are in fact playing in the in-person competitive scene, the way how it's stating is that official live tournaments in the Play Pokemon circuit would use Regulation H until November 2025. Therefore, it's going to be a little bit weird. So if we're going to be doing Pokemon VGC content, we may end up be doing the ranked ladder using the Regulation J format, which is the new title. But if you are wanting to be prepared for any in-person tournaments through November, you're going to have to not use these Mythicals. So that is going to be tossing up a few things up in the air. I am preparing to do a live stream, so whenever this video comes out, if you are catching it right away, you can hop over to twitch.tv/Raikaze11 because I am going to be doing my Pokemon VGC Roulette live stream that is going to be featuring the Wishcash and the Ho-Oh team. So we can talk a little bit about this Regulation J if you are in fact able to catch me on that live stream as I upload this video here. And like I said, I am going to be live streaming as soon as this video is going live. So once again, if you are catching this during this first hour of the upload, make sure you hop over to that channel because I will be live at that moment in time. So the thing I'm going to really try to figure out is in the future, when in terms of coming up with the VGC roulette format or anything of that sort, it's like, hey, do we go with a mythical on the team or do we not? So what I might continue doing is basically just say, hey, we're going to have the roulette series where it'll still choose a restricted legendary and it's going to choose a non-restricted, and the other slot could be another restricted legendary or it could be a mythical as well. Because in this format, the way how it will work is that on these, because these are newly usable Pokemon, which are the Mythicals, but if we just go ahead and combine it all on Cerebi.net, it says the restricted Pokemon, which means you can only use 2 of these Pokemon on your team because they are under that restricted category, and that is including both the restricted legendaries as well as the Mythicals, so they're going to be lumped in the same category. So therefore, you can have a Mewtwo and a Mew, but you can't have Mewtwo, Lugia, and Mew, if that makes sense. So still, it's limited to 2. So I'll probably just say, hey, maybe the roulette will choose a restricted legendary and non-restricted, and my second restricted mon will be considered, I can say, hey, I'll use another legendary or I might use a mythical, depending on how the team functions. But this is exciting. The only thing that is going to be kind of depressing, I really wanted to use Victini, but I did not remember if Victini was allowed in this one as of yet, and Victini is not. We have Mew, Jirachi, Deoxys, Fion, nobody's using Fion, but you can use Manaphy, Darkrai, Shaman, which of course is going to have both of its forms, so you can grass or the grass flying in the sky form. Arceus, that one's going to be huge if you got that Terra Normal Extreme Speed, so watch out for that. You got Keldeo, Meloetta, Diancie. I don't know how viable Diancie's going to be because it's not going to have its Mega form, so that might be a little bit of a challenge. Hoopa Unbound. Now, of course, Hoopa is very frail, but it puts off a lot of damage. We also have Volcanion, Magearna, Zarude, and we're finally going to be able to use the Pecha Run. So of course that Pokemon also can do the confusion with the poisoning, so that is also something that is going to be kind of RNG based, but you know, a way you can actually use that Pokemon here. So one Pokemon that is not here that probably makes us feel better is Marshadow, because of course if you're using the Calyrexes, then Marshadow comes in to clean up against your team, because it will use that Spectral Thief, take your stat boost, and then just one-shot your Pokemon more than likely. So good to see that Marshadow is not here. I'm very sad that Victini is not here yet, but that may be something that's going to be coming into the future. Probably not. I remember when they did this before, they only did the Mythicals just for a very short period of time, and then they just let it go after that. So they may not expand on this list, just depending on what's coming up in the near future in terms of the Pokemon games. But only one way to find out, and that's by waiting it out and seeing. But we can definitely talk more about this if you are catching me on the live stream. So make sure, once again, at twitch.tv/Raikaze11 if you want to chat about it more. But this was just a quick little update video on the Regulation J that has been announced. So let me know if you're excited about it, which mythical you are excited to use, and or which mythicals you're actually happy that's not here as of right now. But with that being said, at this moment in time, this is going to be the Raikaze signing off. You all know what to do. Stay strong and you power on. Catch you all at the live stream.